Welcome back to Salam Media. I'm your host, Takir Daud, taking you through the next 5 minutes of sport. Where did this evening go? Time flies when you're having fun. But well, the fun's not about to end. Next up, we've got Lorenz Kohler giving us a bit of a breakdown of what we can expect in this weekend's league action in South Africa. We've got Orlando Pirates that will be taking on Mamelodi Sundowns, who seem to be running away with the league. But Pirates could seem to chase a better spot on the table, end the season off on a high, and make sure that Soweto is calling their name come next season and not calling for the coach's head. Lorenz, thanks for joining me this evening. It's always a pleasure having you on the show. Lorenz, a quick synopsis of the season thus far. What do you make of it?
The only thing I was laughing for is when you said Sundowns seem to be running away with the league. They are. It's like that's definite. But yeah, still an exciting game. It's one of the biggest fixtures in our calendar. It's always a very attack-minded game. There's always goals, and I think Pirates have a lot to prove. Even though they will be like I think 21 points off Sundowns if they win this game, they'll have a game in hand as well. It's just like it's a mental thing if they win
Mm,
this game to show like we're not as pup for lack of a better word than what other people
mm,
think we are. But for Sundowns, they're chasing a 15th consecutive victory. Coach Ralani Mukwena he's not even drawn a game since he's taken charge. And I think this is a very emotional game for him because his first head coaching stint was at Pirates, at his emotional, his spiritual home ground of Orlando Stadium there because he's got a history in the family with Orlando Stadium with Jomo Sono, his father, and whatever. And he obviously failed in his first head coaching stint, and he'll be the first to admit it. So there's so much like drive and desire to succeed because of how he was ridiculed after failing at Pirates. So
mm.
he'll definitely not want to, throw this game away and say, ah, it's a dead wrapper. We're going to win the title. He's going to want to make a point at Orlando Stadium.
And I mean, just making a point at the Orlando Stadium, which he definitely would be doing. Um, how do Pirates respond to this? I mean, here you've got the train coming at you in what? At full speed. How do you stop
Mm.
this train?
Yeah, I mean, we asked the coach a similar thing, and he said, like, they've been unlucky for most of the season. They've never really played bad. They've just been like, not been so clinical in front of goals. And then they got this new striker coach, Scott Chickledy, who's been working with some Premier League footballers over the past few years. And since then, they've scored, I think, like 10 goals in the last 3 games. So they've kind of like remedied the problems up front. And they do have a pack squad. As much as Sundowns have a pack squad, Pirates also have a pack squad. But the only difference is that, Sundowns can play a football game with their eyes closed. Their
Mm.
system is embedded in their brains. Like any player can come into the system and it will still flow the same way. The Pirates are still finding their feet in this thing. So I think what Rivera was saying is that they're still gonna go toe to toe and see who is tactically more adept because he admits that both team have quality players and it's just about who executes the game plan better. So I think Pirates probably will show a few surprises in this selection, and I think that's how they could possibly stop Sundowns because Sundowns are so methodical and technical in the details of how they study the opposition. So playing a couple of players who's not been in Pirates before, like a couple of new signings like
Mm.
Makaleni Makoula in midfield or Suabu Maru, the Cameroonian striker, was actually with Cameroon at the World Cup. Throwing them in could throw a spanner in the works, and I think that's maybe where Pirates could get a slight edge over Sundowns if there is going to be an edge over anyone.
So what you're saying is that a spanner will be thrown in the works here this weekend, and we might just see a Pirates victory over Sundowns.
Look, that stadium is gonna be packed. I have no doubt about it, and it creates an atmosphere like no other stadium, even FNB to a certain extent. So I think Pirates they owe their fans this. They did they've disappointed them a lot in this league.
Mm.
Um, but obviously Sundowns is very formidable. But I kind of back Pirates to just be a little bit more hungrier than Sundowns for this game.
Mm. Definitely, definitely looking at that, and it's going to be interesting because you've got one team that is cruise control, and the other team that's
Mm.
got everything to play for. Your thoughts? I mean, Sundowns now. How do these guys just stay motivated? I mean, what? You've got one hand on the league,
Mm.
and now it's just about going through the motions. But how do you stay motivated to get the 3 points week in and week out now going on?
Something that I've spoken to many Sundowns players about is when they sign for Sundowns, they understand that, okay, we're gonna earn a big paycheck or whatever, and we might not play, but there's also a chance you can come in and you might play and be a
Mm,
superstar at Sundowns. And I think what keeps them motivated is if they go into a game and they play badly, they might not see the pitch again for another 10, 20 games. You know what I mean?
mm,
So that level of competition and consistency that you need be in the starting level of Sundowns is what really drives them. So a lot of the players they're always looking over their shoulder. Whereas you go to Chiefs and Pirates, maybe some players feel like, my place in the starting 11 is solid. And in other teams, because I have a starter and I have a backup. But in Sundowns, like literally anyone can replace you.
mm,
If you just look at the goalkeeping department, it's all full internationals. Ronwin, Dennis, Kennedy, I mean, AFCON winners, Champions League winners. It's ridiculous, actually, at some point.
mm,
Um, so, yeah, it's just like, as a player of Sundowns, I know if I don't perform, I'm out. You know what I mean?
mm.
And
You
that, I mean,
seem
that's
to
enough motivation.
Yeah, you seem to know a lot about the plays and what happens behind the scenes. You spent the week earlier. You spent earlier this week, for that matter, in the Pirates camp. What was
Yeah.
that experience like? Being inside the Pirates camp in preparation for such a enormous match.
Nah, it looked like we were in close connection with them, but they're very paranoid. They like to think that we spying on them or whatever, and we're gonna share their secrets. Like when I came there, I was like, "Boss, can I go watch the train?" They're like, "No, no, 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 no." I'm like, "Oh, what kind of this is security is telling me now I can't go there," and it's like
Mm,
they just are a club that are like that. But even Sundowns is the same, and Chiefs is the same. They're always saying like you guys are agents, you're spying on us, blah blah blah. But yeah, you can see the team is very they're happy. There's a togetherness. They're in a good mood, and they're calm. I think signing a couple of
mm,
new players, new faces around the camp has lifted their spirits a lot. And obviously, having won the MTN 8 earlier this season, they know what they're capable of doing. They've beaten Sundowns this season, but they've also lost twice to Sundowns also this season.
mm.
So I just think that the Pirates squad, like they have this feeling of like we've underperformed, and they wanna make a statement this weekend. And
Mm.
there's no better opportunity besides obviously the derby next 2 weeks than beating Sundowns to make a statement.
How about you make a statement? Prediction on the final score. Let's do this.
Okay, I think it, if I had to be a betting man, I would say 2-1, 2-1 to Pirates, 2-1 to Pirates. Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. And if you had to bet even more intricately, scorers?
Yeah. Yo, Sundowns, I would say Peter Shalulile. For
Definitely.
Pirates, I think a defender, set piece, Sabisi maybe, Kosanati Sabisi, and oof, I don't even know who's gonna be in that Pirates lineup, so that one is tough. I'll
You
say
were in the camp.
Dionato. And I'll say Dionato because he's one of the guys that's always in the team. So Dionato and Sabisi.
The spine of the team. The team is built around them. Lorenz, thanks for your
Yeah,
time this evening, man. Really appreciate it,
sure.
bud. We hope that your predictions come into fruition this weekend, and we might just put an extra star on your credibility there, and might just drop a Google review on Lorenz's predictions. Who knows?
Nah, don't take my word for it. And I'm gonna get angry messages saying, "Ah, bro, I put you on your bet. I put down your advice for the bet on Betway."
Well, we'll
Anyway,
have to wait and see. Lorenz, thanks so much. It's a pleasure. It's
sure.
always great chatting all things football with you. And until we do it again, man, have a great
Sure.
evening and a lekker weekend ahead.
Thanks for inviting me, you too.
Anytime. But that was football and football analyst Lorenz Kohler, giving us a bit of insight onto this weekend's big match between Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns. His predictions 2-1 to Mamelodi Sundowns. What's yours? Drop it in the comment section. Let's see what you have to say and if your result will actually be true. But that's a wrap from myself, Dakir Daud, and the team here at Salam Media. Thanks so much for tuning in this evening. All the interviews are available on our social media platforms and on YouTube. So yeah, check them out, comment, view, share, do what you need to do, and let me know. But that's it from me and the team. Until next week, we do this thing again. Same time, same place. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.